Hello, I'm Dr. Kristen truman-allen. I'm the owner and Chief Experience Officer for Pulp Leadership Coaching. Welcome to Lead Boldly. Today we're going to talk about connecting with your teams with empathy during times of crisis. This topic is super important because as executive leaders, our role is to influence change and make a positive impact in the world. We must have responsive, effective, collective human connection to influence change. People will lean in and be vulnerable with you if they trust you and they feel they're connected to you. We must be intentional about our reactions in times of crisis and respond with empathy. Empathy is an attempt to understand a different perspective. Empathy is feeling with another person, and it's essential for us in order to lead without fear, inspire trust, and be clear, kind, and direct. So if you are an executive leader looking for empathetic ways to respond to your teams, please stick around. You're not alone. And if you find this video useful, please share it with everyone you work with, all of the executive leaders that you know, because the more we are leading from our most authentic, empathetic selves, the more vulnerable and creative and engaged our teams will be. To help you respond with empathy, here are 3 things you can do right now. First, make it safe. Your teams need to feel safe, valued, and supported. In crisis, teams fear judgment or they don't feel good enough. They might even fear retaliation, or maybe they fear not being seen or getting emotionally and physically hurt on duty. Teams will feel safe if you create emotional and physical safety with an intentional, sturdy presence of curiosity and non-judgment. I call that holding space. As an executive leader, if you aren't sure if your teams feel safe, ask them. Here's a couple questions you can ask your team. How do you know it's safe to share your ideas and concerns? Or how do you feel connected? Or who do you feel connected to? What are you afraid of? What keeps you up at night? What would make you feel safe? And what suggestions do you have? Holding space and acknowledging their safety lets your team know you're paying attention and you want to support them. Second, be attuned. Empathy is sensing the emotions of others. You can do this by noticing subtle shifts in behavior and energy. What is actually being said and what is not being said? Who's being unusually quiet and who is being unusually active? Watch body language and be curious about subtle eye contact between people or lack of eye contact with you. Is anyone withdrawn or even frenetic? Pay attention to the energy of your team. Notice it and ask about it. A simple question like, what's happening with the energy right now? Can open real discussion about what people are experiencing and let them know what you really want to understand and be responsive. Be attuned to emotional cues and follow their lead in what they need in crisis. This brings me to the 3rd thing you can do right now to respond to your teams and connect with empathy. Listen and follow. In the event that you're leading in crisis and action and response is needed, connect first by listening and taking action only if it's asked for. In personal interaction, a verbal response is actually not usually what's needed. Connection is, and connection happens when people feel listened to and they feel heard. Listen without judgment, without labeling, and listen completely without reacting personally. For example, if your teams are angry, know that anger is a response to pain or fear or lack of control. Listen intently for what's important and what is really going on. If you don't listen first, you're at risk of acting on the wrong thing and potentially creating more chaos. Or if you risk taking it personally and then you react rather than responding with empathy. Slow down, listen completely, listen empathetically, then follow through on what you heard and take action. Do what you say you will do and do it quickly. This is one of the fastest ways to build trust and demonstrate that you're connected to them in an authentic way. Meet your teams where they are and acknowledge their emotions. Then follow up. Remember, 3 things you can do as an executive leader to respond with empathy is, first, make it safe. Second, be attuned. And 3rd, listen hard and follow up. If you like what you saw and want more, please subscribe now and follow us on all the social medias. If you would like more information on how to maximize your connections and get better integration of your teams, download my free resource called 8 Bold Leadership Essentials. This is the framework that I use to get 100% engagement for myself and for my teams. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a playful, fulfilling day, and I wish for you to lead boldly and create experiences for yourself and others that are purposeful and impactful.